do it better than me, then you do it. You can do it better than me, then you do it. You can do it better than me, then you can do it better than me, then you do it.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy T, back with another one. Today, I do have something to talk about, but it's not dating. It's not my usual topics or whatever. This one, honestly, is honesty. I don't have a question to pose for this. Excuse me. But, I do have something to say about honesty. Now, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast. Shout outs to Joe Rogan. Beast. Love his work. But I do have something to say about Joe Rogan and in the fact that he's a very, well, as far as I know and as far as he's portrayed to the media, he's a very honest person. In fact, he's willing to confront people, cause conflict, to say his honest opinion. Probably and most likely, and in most times that I've seen him do it, for the better. I'll never forget on Fear Factor when he didn't attack this lady but yeah, he did. He attacked this lady verbally because she hit another contestant. So he was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And it was like a couples thing, and like the man, the woman's husband got involved because, "Yo, who you to yell at my wife?" Nothing is out of the ordinary here, except the husband, on TV decided to be like, "Okay, you gonna yell at my wife? What's good?" And he started to attack him. Joe Rogan, being the MMA fighter that he is, put this guy in a death lock. It wasn't a death lock, he just put his head down, but it is what it is. Why I say this is because Joe Rogan basically has no problem saying what needs to be said at the wrong or right time. It doesn't matter. It needs to be said because it's the truth. And that's what I'm bringing to you guys. Now, fellas, you know that I mainly do talk about dating, but this one here is life. This is life. This is absolute life. It is better to be honest than it is to be dishonest. Now, think a bit about it like this. Pain versus pleasure. Now, my brother always brings home this pain versus pleasure nonsense because of his real estate company. But then when I really think about it, would you rather pain or would you rather pleasure? It's a very hard question to answer if you think about it. Because a lot of people are like, well, I'd rather the pleasure. Why would I want the pain? But pain comes with every decision you make, but so does pleasure. Pleasure comes with every decision you make. Would you rather short-term pleasure for long-term pain? Or would you rather short-term pain for long-term pleasure? That's what pain versus pleasure really means. And that's the same thing with honesty. When you confront somebody, let's say you borrowed somebody's car and you damaged it some way. It might be small, but now you have to tell that person you damaged your car. Would you rather the pleasure of waiting until they find out so the pain may never come? Or would you rather the pain right now and get the pleasure of their trust for a very long time? Knowing that no matter what happens, they know that you'll be truthful to them. So now when another situation comes up and you're truthful about it, let's say, I don't know, you took something of theirs and, it is what it is, and now somebody wants to lie on you, or you didn't take something of theirs and somebody wants to lie on you, you go back to them and say, "Listen, I didn't do anything." You know where they'll trust you? Because they'll remember the time that you damaged their car and you came to them and said, "Hey, this is what happened. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, and I will do whatever I can to pay you back, but this is what happened." That trust goes a very long way. Same thing in relationships, fellas. If you cheat on your woman, first of all, you shouldn't be cheating on your woman. Hey, listen, I feel myself about to cheat, so me and you, we need to end right now because I think I'm going over there. In itself, that right there is honesty. But let's say hypothetically you did cheat on your woman. You cheat on your woman. Tell her. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is what happened. I'm sorry. And XYZ. Now you have to accept the fact that she may be willing to walk away, but you accepted that fact when you actually cheated on her. So now understand that this confrontation, you may like the pleasure of keeping her around, but you will never, the pain that you get from wondering if today's the day that she figures out will suck you dry for the rest of your life. But if you get it out day one, you'll take the pain now. You'll risk her walking away, but 9 times out of 10, she'll probably stay. Because you were honest with her. And anytime there was another situation that comes up with another girl, she will go and be like, you know what? He told me about the last chick that he did something with. So I believe him that he didn't do nothing with this chick, but this chick is a problem. She's not going to leave you next time. She's going to know that you're probably telling the truth. Probably telling the truth, because the last time you went out your way to tell her what happened. But on the flip side of that, you could potentially do something wrong, right? To your girl. You never tell her for a while, maybe even a year, she doesn't figure it out. Then a year later, she figures it out. Now, within that year, you realize you did the wrong thing, and you're finally being the man that you should be to your woman. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, when things are amazing, she finds out. What you think is going to happen? You're going to lose that woman? Your world's going upside down? And everything that you ever worked for was for nothing. But now, if you tell her the day that it happens, maybe not the day, maybe you wait a bit. Even if you wait a bit, I'll be honest with you, you wait a bit, some females is going to take that the wrong way. They're going to be like, well, why didn't you tell me when it happened? Whatever it is. Okay. I hear you. You're like, well, I could wait a couple days. No, tell her when it happens. Maybe the day after. Now, it's her decision to stay, but she might stay. Now, that pain versus pleasure is in effect because you told her. The pain of telling her right now because you don't know what will happen next. But the pleasure is that you'll never have to deal with that after that moment. You know why? Yeah, you may have to deal with the fact of your girl nagging you all the time with certain girls, but she will believe you every time you speak because you let her know what was going on. I ain't telling y'all how to cheat. I'm just telling y'all to be honest. In this world, not just with your girl, not just with your parents, not just with your friends, but in life. You know, some of y'all are scumbags. Let's talk about this. Your girl, your mans, one of your cool friends, one of your homeboys has this girl and she's hollering at you. Some of y'all low-key like your boy's girl. First of all, that's messed up. I don't condone that in any way, shape, or form. I've actually done that to a friend and I'll never do it again. Now, it was like a million years later, but I still felt bad for doing it, and you should too. That's your boy. There's a million girls out here. And I mean that literally. In fact, there's a billion girls out here. More than that. And you telling me that you got to choose out of the billion females, you got to choose the one that's to your closest friend? So whatever. Let's say you did something with your boy's girl. I'm going to tell you right now, with the divorce rates, with child support numbers going up, with breakups happening every day, it's best to tell your man. It's best to tell your man what happened. You know why? Because friendships last forever. Because you don't expect nothing from them but loyalty and friendship. companionship. But girlfriends, they don't last that long, especially in 2019. Divorce, 70% of marriages end in divorce. Breakups, a breakup happens every day. I don't know the numbers, but I'm sure a breakup happens in the world every 30 seconds. Somebody's being broken up with. And you have to understand that the pain versus pleasure of telling your homeboy that you've known for however long, 20, 15, 10, 30 years, that you did this with his significant. Yeah, you're gonna risk losing your friend. But the fact that you told him and he didn't have to hear from another person, you probably won't lose that friend forever. Now, if he heard from another person, you'll probably lose that friend forever. If you eventually tell that person he hasn't heard from another person, you won't lose that person forever, but you will lose that person for a while, depending on how long it took you to tell them. I say this because one thing. Honesty is really the best policy, whether you like it or not. They say people can't handle the truth and it's real, but it ain't people who receive the truth that can't handle it. It's the people that have to tell the truth that can't. That's really what it is. That famous quote means a lot, but it's really directed to the person who can't give the truth. Because let me ask you a question. How many people out there lie? You're lying if you ain't raised your hand. Everybody in this world has lied at some point in their life. Ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody saints. Nobody angels out here. We all got our flaws. Everybody has lied. You've lied to your parents. You've lied to your friends. You've lied to your spouse. You've damn sure lied to a stranger. You know what's funny? We will quicker tell a stranger the truth than people that know us. You believe that? Now, unless you're trying to impress that stranger, we will quicker tell a stranger the truth opposed to someone that knows us. Imagine that. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest as much as you possibly can. In this world of lies and deception and manipulation, you have to be the change that you want to see. If you want people... Listen, my friend, he lives in Rhode Island. He's my man. He always told me, people that can't trust are not to be trusted. I believe that. I'm not saying you have to go into every relationship with 100% trust. That's foolish. But if you go into every relationship with no trust and they have to build it up, why are you so distrusting? I don't care what your past has taught you. Don't not trust somebody because you just know no one's meant to be trusted. No, you're projecting your trust onto other people. And why? It's because you're dishonest. You start to live by that code, that creed. You start to live by those principles. So when you're not honest, you start doing dishonest things. And then I told you in another video, you become the person. When you start to do things, it becomes easier and easier to do it. You know why? If you lie to a person and you don't get caught, it becomes easier to lie. And then the more you do it, it becomes easier and easier and easier. So now you start lying more than you start telling the truth. And you know why? Because pain versus pleasure. The pleasure of telling the lie is either to impress, to avoid the truth, or make yourself appear ready or available for whatever is coming next. But you're lying. You're lying just to get your way. That's a selfish trait. Dishonesty is a selfish trait. Honesty is a noble trait. But you know what's funny? Honesty is also a selfish trait as well. Because now, if I tell you the truth and you can't handle it, that's not my fault. But guess what? I get to sleep better at night. If I did wrong and I tell you the truth, I'm being selfish because although it hurt you, I got it out the way so I don't regret this for the rest of my life. I am honestly worried about myself. And that is why honesty should be implemented in every conversation you have with everyone, including yourself. You know why? Because we lie to ourselves the most. It's your boy T. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel about honesty, dishonesty. Can you really, truly be honest forever? I don't believe so, but I think you could do it most of the time. Listen, if you feel like you could do this better than me, then hey, I'm not one to judge. But if you can't, then I'll see you on the next one. Follow me on Instagram, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy T. I'm out. One.
Because the society we live in.
Yeah.
We live in this system, and that's why I was trying to say earlier, it all comes down to this system. Anybody will do, for the most part, anything for the money. And I don't just mean people that's pimping themselves out on TV or even really just, selling their bodies. I'm talking about people that go to a job every day that they hate. You sold out too. We all sellouts. You selling out. You going to something that you don't like. Why? So you can live and survive. To me, life don't feel like it's supposed to be like that no more.
Got my bag and it's spinning like a ton. I know for real that I'm not the only one. Shit's crazy.